Are you tired of people prying into your life? Asking questions that leave you feeling exposed, drained, or even manipulated? Have you ever answered a question out of politeness, only to regret it later? In old age, one of the most powerful skills you can develop is learning when to be cold. Not unkind, not rude, but firm, protective of your peace, guarding your heart, your mind, and your personal life from those who do not deserve access to it. People will ask, they always do, how much money do you have saved? Why aren't you spending more time with your family? When are you going to move in with your children? Why haven't you remarried? What are you planning to do with your assets? And every time they ask, there is an unspoken expectation that you owe them an answer, that you must justify your choices, that you must explain yourself. But here's the truth, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your life. The older you get, the more you realize that people's questions are not always innocent. Some people ask out of curiosity, others ask because they want to judge, and some, they ask because they want to manipulate. They want to know your weaknesses. They want to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They want to take advantage of your kindness. This is why, in old age, you must learn to protect yourself. You must learn to say less, to keep certain answers to yourself, to be selective about who you trust and what you reveal. One of the greatest mistakes people make in their later years is feeling obligated to answer every question. Maybe you were raised to be polite. Maybe you were taught that silence is rude. But here's what you need to understand. Silence is power. The less you say, the more control you have over your own life. When you answer every question, you give people access to your thoughts, your plans, your vulnerabilities. And once they have that access, they can use it however they choose. Some will use it to help you, but many will use it to manipulate, pressure, or guilt trip you into making decisions that do not serve you. Think about it. Have you ever shared something personal, only to have it come back to haunt you later? Maybe you mentioned a financial decision, and suddenly people started treating you differently. Maybe you shared a concern about your health, and now everyone is offering unsolicited advice or making decisions for you. Maybe you expressed a personal dream, and someone laughed at it, making you second-guess yourself. This is why you must learn to be selective, to recognize which questions do not deserve answers. The key is knowing which questions to ignore, deflect, or shut down. When someone asks about your finances, you do not have to explain. A simple, "I have everything handled" is enough. When someone pries into your personal relationships, you do not have to give details. "I'm content with how things are" is a full response. When someone questions your life choices, you do not have to justify yourself. "This is what works best for me" is all you need to say. Some people will push. They will demand answers. They will act offended by your refusal to engage. Let them. You are not responsible for their expectations. You do not owe them access to your inner world. People who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They will not need explanations to support you. They will trust that you know what is best for yourself. And what about the people who do not respect your boundaries? The ones who keep asking, keep prying, keep pushing? These are the ones you must be especially careful with, because their persistence is not about concern. It is about control. It is about power. They want to know what you are thinking, so they can influence it. They want to know your plans, so they can insert themselves into them. They want to test your limits to see how much of yourself you will give away. You must be strong. You must learn to let the uncomfortable silence settle. You must train yourself to smile and say nothing when a question does not deserve an answer. You must become comfortable with disappointing people who expect too much of you, because at the end of the day, your peace is worth more than their approval. There is a saying, strong walls make good neighbors. The same is true for personal boundaries. The stronger your walls, the healthier your relationships. When you control the access people have to you, You create an environment where only the right people, those who respect you, uplift you, and truly care about your well-being, remain close. The wrong ones, they will drift away, frustrated by their inability to manipulate you. Let them go. Their absence is a blessing. Some will misunderstand. They will call you cold, distant, secretive. Let them think what they want. Being cold is not about being unkind. It is about being wise. It is about recognizing that not everyone has good intentions. It is about choosing peace over unnecessary stress. It is about protecting the life you have built from those who would take advantage of it. And here is the most important truth. You do not need permission to protect yourself. You do not need to explain why you choose privacy, why you set boundaries, why you do not answer every question. You do not need to justify your right to peace. So the next time someone asks a question that feels invasive, ask yourself, does this person need this information? Are they asking out of genuine care? Or is there another motive? Will answering this question serve me? Or will it drain me? And if the answer is anything less than clear, confident certainty, say nothing. Smile. Change the subject. Walk away if you need to. Your life is yours. Your choices are yours. Your peace is yours. And no one, not a family member, not a friend, not a neighbor, not even a well-meaning stranger, has the right to take that from you. You are not being rude. You are not being difficult. You are not being unreasonable. You are being strong. You are being wise. You are protecting yourself in a world that too often tries to take advantage of those who are too open, too trusting, too willing to explain. And that is something to be proud of. So starting today, make a promise to yourself. A promise to be selective with your words. A promise to protect your peace. A promise to answer only when it serves you, and to stay silent when it does not. Because you have nothing to prove, nothing to justify, nothing to explain. You owe no one your peace of mind. Now, take a deep breath, hold your head high, and step forward into this next stage of your life with strength, wisdom, and the quiet power of knowing that not every question deserves an answer. Let's break down in detail. There comes a point in life when your peace of mind matters more than appeasing the curiosity of others. You've spent decades proving yourself, explaining yourself, justifying your actions. But now is the time to be selective, to be strong, to be cold when necessary. Because in old age, learning to say less is a powerful skill that protects your well-being, your boundaries, and your happiness. When people ask questions that invade your privacy, their intentions aren't always pure. Some ask out of genuine concern, but many ask out of judgment, comparison, or gossip. They want to know your financial situation, not to help, but to measure themselves against you. They want to know why you're still single, why your children don't visit often, or why you sold your house, not because they care, but because they thrive on opinions. And here's the problem. The more you explain, the more you open yourself up to criticism, unsolicited advice, and emotional stress. If you keep answering these questions, you may start to doubt your own decisions. You might feel pressured to defend your lifestyle. You may find yourself carrying unnecessary burdens simply because someone planted a seed of doubt in your mind. That's why you must stop. You must learn to be cold, not unkind, but firm, not distant, but self-protective. And it starts by never answering these questions. The first question to avoid is about your finances. How much money do you have? What are you leaving behind? Will you be able to manage your expenses? These are deeply personal matters, and discussing them with the wrong people can lead to manipulation, envy, or even betrayal. Some may start treating you differently based on what you reveal. Others may use your answers to guilt trip you into giving or lending money. Your financial matters are yours alone. If someone asks, simply smile and say, I manage just fine. That's it. No details. No explanations. Another question you should never entertain is about your health. What illnesses do you have? How long do doctors say you'll live? Are you taking medication? While some people ask out of concern, others simply enjoy fueling negative conversations. When you repeatedly discuss your health issues, you reinforce your struggles in your own mind. Instead of focusing on living well, you become trapped in an endless loop of symptoms, limitations, and what-ifs. The best response: I feel as good as I can, and I take it one day at a time. End of conversation. People will also probe into your family matters. Why don't your children visit more? Why aren't you remarried? Why don't you live with your relatives? These questions come with hidden judgment, implying that something is wrong with your relationships. But your personal connections are nobody's business. Relationships evolve. Circumstances change. And not everything needs an explanation. Respond with, family dynamics are complicated, but I'm at peace with mine. That's all. Don't invite unnecessary discussions. Then there's the question of your future. What are your plans? Are you prepared for the end? Do you have everything in order? These are heavy, personal topics. Planning for the future is wise, but entertaining unnecessary conversations about it can bring anxiety. You are living in the present. That's what matters. When someone asks, just say, I focus on today. The rest will take care of itself. No one needs to know more. Setting these boundaries is not about being rude, it's about protecting your peace. Some people will be uncomfortable with your silence, but that's their problem, not yours. You have nothing to prove. You have no need to justify your choices. You are not obligated to satisfy someone's curiosity. Your life is yours, and the less you reveal, the stronger you become. But what if you struggle to say no? What if you feel pressured to answer? Start small. Practice short, neutral responses that don't invite further questions. Change the subject. Redirect the conversation. And most importantly, remind yourself that silence is not weakness, it's power. Every time you choose not to explain, you reinforce your independence. You teach people how to treat you, and you take back control of your narrative. Imagine a life where you no longer feel the need to justify your choices, where you wake up every day without the burden of explaining yourself, where you walk into a room knowing that your worth is not up for discussion. That is the life you deserve. And it starts with one decision: to be strong, to be selective, to be cold when necessary. Because at this stage of life, your priority is not what others think, it's how you feel. Your happiness, your peace, and your self-respect are what truly matter. So the next time someone asks you a question that doesn't serve you, remember, you don't have to answer. You don't have to engage. You don't have to explain. You owe nothing to anyone except yourself. And that is the ultimate freedom.